All right, so today we got Thembi here with us. Some of you may know Thembi from a couple of other videos that I've done, but today we're going to go much, much deeper. So, Thembi, thank you for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Let's dive right into it. Tell us, or tell me, who is Thembi?
Come on, Daniel. That's a big question. I've never even actually thought of that question.
Good.
In that way, like, who is Thembi? Okay, so Thembi with a capital T, and the truth of Thembi is I am love, I am joy, I am abundance, and I am compassion. But most importantly, I am love. And then Thembi on, like the human level, not my spiritual self, but my human level. I think I'm a collection of stories. I think that's the best way to put it. A collection of ideas and stories. So I have Thembi, who was born and raised in Soweto, South Africa, who's got her own story of poverty there. I have Thembi, who has been a world traveler, a gypsy staying in youth hostels, and then, going, oh no, I don't want to stay in youth hostels anymore. That's a story and a persona. There's Thembi, who's worked on Wall Street. That's another story and another persona. So I don't know if I can really put it in like,
Great. Let's do stories, because I want to hear the story. Start with growing up. I think that's a really powerful story. I'd love to talk about those different stories that you just touched on and go a little bit deeper into those. So let's start with the first one.
So which you want me to start about the one in South Africa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's start there.
So I was born and raised in Soweto, South Africa, during apartheid. Very interesting times. My dad was an insurance broker, so sort of in finance. He sold financial services products. So all he wanted really was to make sure that his daughters had the best education, so that when apartheid dissolved, we could have the opportunity to be leaders, after apartheid. So he worked hard and put us through private school. However, because most of the private schools were so expensive, most of his money went to private schools. So we had this double life. Oh my God. Let me just tell the truth. We had this kind of double life. So we went to these like expensive private schools, but then at the end of the day, I would go and sleep in a one-car garage. So it was like total mind fuck, because you get up in the morning and you would shower in a bucket, right? My mother would wake us up at 5 o'clock. We'd sleep on the floor with the concrete floor in the garage. My mom would wake us up 5 o'clock and we would literally take a shower in the bucket, and sometimes have no food. Like sometimes it was like for a whole week, peanut butter and tea, that was it. But then would drive like an hour and a half to the suburbs of Johannesburg, and you'd see like opulence, like Mercedes Benz. And so it was that was sort of growing up. And I think that created a lot of stress for my parents. So they fought all the time, and my dad became increasingly abusive. So I ran away from home when I was 17. I had my first job as a telemarketer, selling stock market programs at 17 and a half. 17. And then I was able to save up enough money because I was really good at sales. And I moved to London. And then I started backpacking around Switzerland, and I was still doing telesales. And then I was fascinated by the financial markets, because I was actually selling those courses that taught people how to trade. But then that became my fascination. Like 12, I think it was 20, I started trading, and I've never looked back. And then it's just been, just unfolding and unfolding. Did that make sense?
Very much, very much. Tell me a bit more, because I don't know that story. Tell me about Wall Street.
So that was so I when I first started trading, I used to trade the forex market. That I made insane amounts of money by 24, and then I lost it all. So in 2 weeks, I lost $750,000. And so I realized that the forex market was too manipulated. There's no securities exchange commission for the currency market. So I decided, okay, it's probably best that I trade the stock market, because there is like a governing body, and you're not just going to lose insane amounts of money overnight. So after college, I moved to New York. Well, during college, I was applying at hedge funds, and I finally got a job. I moved in April. And it was one of those experiences which was surreal. I was the only Black woman in the fund. There's like probably 350 traders. There was only 3 women. There was an Asian woman, a Black woman, and a Caucasian woman. Yeah, there was 3 women. And it was just so much testosterone. And so, and it was hectic. Every single day was hectic. Some days were computer screens flying across and you're just constantly ducking. Some days it's a mouse flying. The profanity. I think men sometimes have the dirtiest mouths. But that experience allowed me to relate to men from their left brain and their right brain, because I could understand why they did what they did and how sometimes they would behave in a way that was like totally inappropriate for a woman to behave in, but it was okay for men to behave in that way. So not only did I get the financial reward of working for a hedge fund, I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about human behavior, because that's truly that's all what the market is human behavior. And you're anticipating that humans are going to keep behaving the same way, so you can take advantage of those behaviors if you spot them first. Basically, that's what trading is.
Now I know where you got that one from. Yeah.
What? Which one?
The behavior. Because, I mean, when we talk, there's always like, you are incredibly good at, you're an insanely good marketer. And I think that comes from there, or at least it started, or maybe a big piece of that is from there. Because marketing is nothing else than behavior. That's it. That's pretty much it. Behavior and psychology. But at the end of the day, it's pretty much the same, right? So, okay, so what happened after that? What happened after, or what happened with Wall Street and after Wall Street?
So I was working 80 hours a week, and it just got tough. So, okay, yeah. So it got physically tough, but I can do physical tough. Like I used to every morning go outside and, with a gallon of a bucket to go get water, because we didn't have water in the garage. So tough I can do, like I'm African. But spiritually, I was waking up at that time. I think there was this huge like stir in me, because I came to America with this dream of, oh my goodness, I'm going to live my American dream. It came very fast. But then I realized that the American dream was not as it seemed. It was only for those elite. So you had to have sort of like this insider information, or you had to know somebody who knows somebody. It wasn't accessible to everyone, right? So here's the funny thing. I was at a conference and I was talking to this guy who has a MBA from Yale. And he asked me, oh, so what have you done? I was like, oh, I was working for a hedge fund. He says, oh, the only reason why you were working for a hedge fund without a master's degree from an Ivy League school is because of your accent. I said, what? What does that have to do with anything? Like, that's so crazy. But he said, I am a Black man. I don't speak like you. Even though I have a Yale master's degree, I applied at all of these hedge funds and I still couldn't get in. So I realized then that there was the American dream is not really designed in a way where it's accessible to everyone. And this was also during the recession. And I saw people losing their homes, and I was actually a part of that because I was shorting the markets. I knew a year before the recession that it was going to hit. So then it for me, I think spirit started working internally. And I mean, I've never really shared this is crazy shit. But I started seeing how my participation in the market was harming other human beings because they didn't know what I knew. So that was my kind of exit, and I was like, I'm done. But I carried on trading. I just didn't want to be part of that whole movement of Wall Street, but I've carried on trading, and I started teaching people how to do it because I just wanted to I just wanted to share with people what I learned, but also I wanted to empower other people to do it for themselves because no one's going to do it for you. And if you have knowledge, as Nelson Mandela said, you have the opportunity to be wealthy or to have access to that American dream. So is that okay? Yeah. Did I answer that? I know I went
very much. So that was your jump from Wall Street to your own business, right? Where you started stock market trading for beginners, right?
Yeah.
So tell me that story and how that moved on.
So yeah, that was a very funny one. It was that was a very funny one. So I was actually sitting at I started Vipassana meditation. I think 14 years ago. So it was after I left Wall Street and came back to Vegas. I went through a very dark time. Seriously dark. Like I was drinking a bottle of wine every single day. There was no day that was off, right? It was like Monday to Friday to Saturday to Sunday. I'm drunk. And I was smoking like 2 boxes of Vogue cigarettes. I was so cool. I was like, oh, Vogue, darling. I was freaking killing myself. But I was so unhappy. So unhappy. I mean, I like had quote unquote the American dream success, right? Who retires at 27? But I was totally unhappy. So I was drinking a lot. And then I decided to go to this Vipassana meditation, which is like 10 days of silence. You don't talk, you just sit and get to know yourself, right? So all your demons come up and all your stuff comes up. So I think it was like day 8 of Vipassana. I wanted to run away because I was like, oh my God, I cannot take this shit anymore. Get me out of these hippies. And I went up to one of the facilitators and I was just like crying, losing my shit. And he said, to be happy in life, you've got to share your gifts. I said, what? He said, you have to share your gifts. I said, have you seen what's happening on Wall Street right now? No, nobody wants to know about the stock market. Leave me alone. And he's like, you just share your gifts. So I started, so I came back. I was like, yeah. That guy didn't know what he's talking about. 2 months later, I decided to do 10 YouTube videos, put them up on YouTube. And I said, this is my Dharma to the world. Now the world can know I'm sharing my gifts. And then what do you know? 3 months later, I get this woman sends me an email. And she's like, you have to work with me. I'm like, I don't coach. I don't do anything. No. I just put up these videos as Dharma so I can be happy. And she insisted for like 2 months. She would email me every day. I finally said, okay, fine. I'll coach you. She said, how much? I said, $5,000. And she's like, oh, you're so cheap. Okay, done. I said, oh, okay. I didn't know that this is how it's done. So that's how my business grew. It was just organic. I had 10 YouTube videos. Spirits, the nice shaman there, Buddhist monk said, share your gifts. I said, okay, I'll share. And then to this year where I finally realized that I'm done with that. But it's just been such an amazing journey of meeting interesting people. My clients make so much freaking money. And it's in integrity. And they are living their true vision, financial vision. Oh my God. Thank you, God, for showing up as me like that for my clients, right? Because it really is not about me. It's about the life that lives me. So yeah, did that work?
That really worked. Absolutely. So now we're at this year, right? now we're at another transition. Tell me about, let's talk about the present. So we talked about the story. Now let's talk about the present. And then we're going to talk about the scary future. But let's talk about the present for now. Like, what is it, what are you up to right now? Like, what is it that you are creating now?
Yeah, I mean, I realized, so I realized, I think it was 2012, that we are all one. But like, I mean, I've kind of known that mentally, but like I like started embodying that concept of we are all one. And I had this weird opening in that just awareness in Shanghai. I was living in Shanghai during that time. And the more I entertained this idea that we are all one, the less I wanted to harm other human beings, the less I wanted to speak ill of other human beings, the less I wanted to not give of my love or of myself with other human beings. So I decided that I want to share myself. And I decided that my mission for now, and it might change, it might stay the same, but my mission is to be love and share love and experience laughter with more people. With the stock market, it's great. With my past business with the stock market, it was great because I just had a few clients. But now I really want to share more love. And I want to allow other people to let go, sort of like remove the mask and get to know each other more on a spiritual level, and not just look at our imperfections on the human level, but get to deeply know each other as I'm playing with God. When I'm talking to you, I'm talking to God. When I'm dancing with you, I'm dancing with God. You know, and just that awareness that when I harm you, I harm myself. So I started, now I realized that for me, it's showing up as executive coaching, if we could put it in that way, corporate trainings and development, working with associations. It's just this message of let's just play nice with each other. Let's just love each other. So that's what's going on. It's messy right now. It's unorganized. It's scary because I've never been like, oh, woo, it's all going to work out. There's a part of me that's like, no, I'm kind of a rational human being and I want to see the numbers. But what's coming through and what's being created as me is really messy. And there's days where I'm scared. I don't kind of know how it's all unfolding, but I get little hints and little nudges to go here, talk to you. I mean, this is how I met you, and this is why we're having this conversation right now, right? Yeah, so it's messy, but that's what I'm trying to create. Is that did I answer your question well?
Absolutely, it very much does. I remember in one of our mastermind calls, you really digged into that, and the essence was basically you want to create a world where people play nice together, and where people really play nice on a spiritual level.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I mean, what is this about? It's like, you know, for me, my vision, my umbrella, it is to create like a more human and more connected world. I mean, like, you know, it's pretty much the same thing, right? I guess that's one of the reasons why we get along so well. It's funny, like when I do these interviews, that's what comes up over and over and over and over again. The vision is the same. We got the same vision of that future world. We're building the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's where what you're talking about. Like, now, what is it specifically? Now, I'd like to dive a little bit more into the picture. Like, what is it in a picture when you say people playing nice together. Now you do the corporate work, you do a lot of speaking and consulting and things like that. What would that kind of world look like? What is that thing you imagine? How does that look like as a picture, as a recording?
It looks like this, like this, right? So my topic right now that's really hot and that's doing really well for me in the corporate market is millennials. Okay, so what is up with millennials? We are no different, right? So my husband is a baby boomer, and he always reminds me, he says, when I was your age, I wanted to change the world. Baby boomers were just the same as millennials. It's just that you guys have technology now. So if there are issues in corporations with millennials, and everyone is talking about millennials, shouldn't my vision is that everyone play nice, right? So that's the broader vision. If millennials are supposedly creating all of these problems, aren't the baby boomers also creating their own problems? So my vision is to bring these groups together, unite them with a common vision that is not based on which generational group do you belong to, which ethnic group do you belong to, which socioeconomic group do you belong to? Because fundamentally, when you strip away our stories, this is what I was saying, like Thembi is a compilation of stories. We strip away those stories. What's left is the essence of love, the essence of humanity. And I mean, you say it so well. I mean, I kind of stole it from you. Bringing humanity back to business. What? What are we doing if we're not doing that? We're just mucking around, right? Like, I just want to have friends, drink wine, and let's share in abundance together.
Yeah, it's, okay, here's the way I look at this. I love the way you just expressed it. And when I try to put it in a just one form, business perspective, I see, let's talk about companies and employees, right? I mean, it's pretty messed up right now how companies treat employees, and and how employees treat each other. It's a pretty effed up world in that sense, right? So with that essence, that because it is an essence that you bring into this that can be applied in any and every area, but that essence is basically people playing nice together, drinking a bottle of wine with a friend. What if that would be the essence that we had in employee engagement? Just taking that example, right? I mean, what would be different? How would our world be different if the different levels in a hierarchy of employees will play nice together? What if peers and colleagues will play nice together? I mean, I'm not talking about tree hugging. I'm just talking about, just dumping the political bullshit and all of this. It's just a real thing, right? So just in that sense, and now you can take that and apply it in pretty much everything, in every aspect of business and every aspect of life, right?
So true. So true. So here's a story. Here's another little story. My mom is a child psychologist by training, and she teaches at a nursery school. Every time I go to South Africa, I will usually go and have bring a child to work day. I usually ask my mother, can you bring a child to work day? I go to her nursery school and I play with her kids. Before the kids go out for recess, like for break, to go out and play on the playground, she lines them up and then she asks the kids, what are the rules of the playground? Be nice, be kind, don't spit, don't speak ill of other kids, and don't kick other kids. We kind of learned all of the rules to survive, and actually not to survive, but thrive as humanity. When we were in kindergarten, we learned them. Don't kick other kids, like don't speak ill of other kids, stuff like that. And I think as adults we forget. We've totally forgotten, and that's why we're spending so much money on leadership training that's not working. Why is it not working? We're spending so much money on engagement and engagement scores and being on the best place to work. But if we're not really changing how we look at each other as human beings, we're just throwing away all of this wellness money. It's too much, because we are trying to fix a problem that is just a symptom of a deeper problem. It's just, let's love each other. Let's be kind. Humanity.
I so much resonate with that, especially with the story about the playground. Because if we would just look at everything in life as a playground, instead of as no, this is serious business. This is serious business. I mean, if we were just looking at instead of, let's not talk about work, let's talk about playing business. I actually write this into my income tracking sheet. That's how many hours I played business today.
Oh, how nice. Dude, that is so cool. I'm going to steal that. No, I'm totally stealing that.
Yeah, because it's just like, it's effortless. And yes, it's a word I use a lot, because I believe like business is not meant to be, a drag. It's meant to be effortless, like life, right? So it's like working with other people is meant to be effortless. How do you make it effortless? Well, play, right? Yeah. That's what I love about your way of saying it. When you say play nice together, that kind of mindset, bringing this into every aspect of, let's just talk about business, right? Every aspect of business. Let's just play together as employer and employee. Let's just play together as supplier and client. Let's just play together as joint venture partner. Oh my God, you know what happens then, right?
Play. Oh my God. But here's the thing, truly, if we're really going, like pulling all of the curtain back and forgetting our egoic stories, right? Our stories from our ego. Oh my God, I'm Thembi, this. And we really go back to our essence. We are truly just spiritual beings having a human experience on this planet, right? And then, so we really are playing business, and we're playing all of these stories and these characters. But in the back of all of that, we are spiritual beings playing business. I love it. I'm stealing it from you. Playing business. Yes, it feels so good. We can just dress up and play business.
Absolutely. I mean, and then it gets something we want to do, right?
Yeah.
It's like employee engagement. Is that something that's fun? Oh my God. How, and this is a drag, like employee engagement. I get goosebumps when I talk about employee engagement, because it's like, I don't want to talk about that, but let's talk about playing with employees and between, employees. And let's talk about creating a playground people have fun coming to.
Oh my God. Like Zappos has that. So I live in Vegas, right? And the headquarters for Zappos is down the road. It's like 20 minutes from my house. They actually have playground, like a playground with swings and a tube and, I don't know what you call it. It's like something like this. And then like a swing like that, and they have so many cool stuff. And then I was interviewing director of HR at Amazon. And he said the reason why Amazon is such a competitive environment, and the people they have such a low turnover compared to most other companies, is because they play. Their mission is to play. They play hard. He says, yeah, we sometimes in the office 80 hours a week, but we're playing, and we're playing so hard that it doesn't feel like work. I don't know why we forgot that, because we used to all love playing, Yeah,
like as kids, we love playing, right? But then it's sort of like we forget about it. Like, no, it's real business, right? No, it's not. It's like, I mean, why is gamification such a big deal? Like,
dude,
right?
Yeah, no, because we figured out the secret to life is to go and be childlike again. My God, when I was a child, I had financial stress. My parents used to fight about money all the time, but I couldn't wait to go out into the streets of Africa, and I didn't even wear shoes. I used to just walk outside. And I would go out all around playing on streets in Africa. Now I don't even go out because I have a story now. I'm 35. 35-year-olds don't do that. They don't play. It's a bullshit story. Maybe if I played more, I'd have more fun in my life.
So true.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
totally.
Beautiful.
I'm going to go play.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just everything, it's just like, taking ourselves less serious and everything. It just goes all in the same direction. Like when I wake up in the morning and I just make the day about playing business, oh my God, I have so much fun. But when I make a day about, oh my God, I got to talk to that person. I have to do this. I have to do that. I got to do emails. Oh my God. I don't want to do emails. Oh my God. But I want to
growing up sucks.
Yeah. But what about playing business through emails? Okay. I can do that. Yeah. Different story.
I think it's really changing how we frame work, right? Reframing work, or reframing our concept of work, or reframing our story about work and what we do. If we had, a different meaning. Like, remember you and I just talked about prayer. Like, there is different, it's the same word, but it can have a different meaning. And then once that you have that awareness and the different meaning, you're like, well, how many other things am I like holding on to that can be changed?
It's the same thing with money, right? I mean, people who have a lot of money and make a lot of money, they see money as something really amazing and beautiful, and as a tool, and as empowerment, and as love, and as flow, and as everything. And people who lack money, they see it as something evil, something to stay away from, right?
Yeah, because it's the story, right? I've had so much pain around money, right? I mean, this one I know. My dad was really good salesperson, like totally. Like I get my sales geniusness from my dad. He's totally beautifully dressed and really a classic salesman. But he would have these months where it was like so much abundance, and then he would have these months where it's like nothing. So I've always kind of had this roller coaster with money, because I learned that I learned that from home. And this constant buzzing energy, like this vibration of fear. Oh my God, is it going to be one of those months where it's a lot or where it's a little? And I found that meditation helps me. Prayer helps me to just stay tranquil,
Yeah, absolutely.
So we all have that.
Absolutely. So what would you say, if we talk about 3 golden nuggets, you've had an amazing life story and you've had so many experiences. What would you say if you had to give 3 golden nuggets, like from what you learned? What are some of the key lessons, would you say?
I'm glad that I'm doing this with you, and I'm glad that you didn't tell me about this and the questions you were going to ask until today, because I probably would have said no. This is scary. It was just really scary for me, but golden nuggets. You're not going to know everything, and you're not going to know how it's all supposed to turn out. You might have a plan, you might have a vision, but remember that vision is just the leap of point for God to show up as bigger and grander and more magnificent. So like today, I didn't know what this conversation was. If I knew that I had to be this honest, I probably would have been like, oh no, child. But here I am. Right? So just go with the flow at times. Don't question too much. If it feels good, even if my mind is saying no, I go with it, because spiritual guidance is not always rational. So go with the flow, even if it's scary. Number 2, take ownership of your own mind. I think so many of us, let me speak for myself and not project, but I have given my mind, consciously sometimes or unconsciously, to ideas that people have passed down to me, and I made them my ideas. And even though the manifestations of those ideas are not necessarily what I want to experience, I have still given my consent and my mind to ideas. So be very conscious of who you give your mind to and what ideas you entertain, because those ideas become your reality. Third nugget is just love yourself, because nobody is going to love you as much as you love you. And in those quiet moments, when it's tough or it's dark, if you've got that sense of, I love me, no matter what, I love me, and God loves me as me. I don't care what happens in the world. I'm here for me. And I think those are my 3 things that I can share. I have to use it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Wow. They're real golden nuggets. Wow. I love how clear you can put a concept like just be in flow into like words that are so, so just like clear, just like every word has a purpose. So this is beautiful. All right. So just to finish.
I love you. Mi amor. You flatter me. I love to have a brother. Like, I never had a brother, right? So you are my brother. And it's so nice to have a brother, because sometimes you need, as a woman, you just need that affirmation that, oh my God, I'm still hot, And it's nice to have a brother that says, oh, I like your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just went and told you my truth. Woman insecurities.
So I imagine that, people watch that and people go like, this is really amazing. She's creating something really powerful. And as we all know, we're not here. We're not meant to do all this by ourselves.
Mm.
Otherwise we would all be born in a separate universe, right?
True.
But we're not. We're all born on the same planet. So we're not meant to do all of this by ourselves. We're meant to take responsibility, and we're also meant to play with others. So what if somebody says, okay, this is really, really powerful, and I'm building something remarkable myself that really aligns with that kind of vision that you're building, and I'd love to see if we can play something together. Where can people connect with you? What's the best place to connect with you?
Send out the vibes and I'll get the message. No. Okay. So my website is www.iyamllc.com. So the meaning behind the website, my company name is I am Unboxed. So I was feeling a little stifled when I was during this period, and I was like, I am Unboxed. So if you forget, there's a story behind it. So it's iyamllc.com, and just go to my contact page, connect, send me an email. I'd be happy to collaborate and co-create.
Love it. So we're going to link below this video so people can check it out and go to the website and connect with you. So thank you, Thembi, for doing this. I really appreciate it. Thank you for doing the scary work and sharing and just painting that beautiful picture.
Don't tell people about this, right? Because, I mean, if you're going to really be honest and you're going to speak your truth, this is scary stuff, right? Because you're not asking me like, oh my God, like surface nonsense questions. You're asking like truth questions. So yeah, how often do you just sit there and verbalize what you really are about in this planet? So don't tell people but don't give them the interview questions.
Beautiful. All right. Thembi, thank you so much for being here, and have an awesome day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care, Thembi. Bye-bye.
Bye.